Now just imagine if that was plugged in. Ladies and gentlemen, I am John the Ninja. Welcome to concert number 11 on the Concert Resume video series. This was the WMMRBQ 2015. Got to go see a bunch of acts, but first and foremost, got to do a special thank you to everyone that's been watching these videos. Much appreciation out to you guys. Now, as we will see from the actual tour diary, the WMMRBQ Baby and T Pavilion was the Susquehanna Bank Center, and it happened Saturday, May 16th, 2015. I actually had work. I was working at American Eagle in King of Prussia. That was my third job at King of Prussia. I used to work for the women's clothing store Garage. That was my first job. Very awkward. And then GameStop. That was my second. And then the last but not least, 3 was American Eagle. I ended up going with Greg and Zach. Zach went with his girlfriend because there was a lot of bands they wanted to see. Her and her friends. So Zach, being naturally with his girl, is going to hang out with his girl. Me and Greg only were going to show up after work, so we both came up with this idea, hey, we'll link up and then we'll go over there. So that's what exactly happened. I finished work. I went to Greg's. Greg finished work. Drove on over into Camden, New Jersey. I really wanted to see Halestorm. Out of all the bands that were performing, let's go over them. Cold Roses, Rival Sons, Pretty Reckless, Halestorm, Seether, Breaking Benjamin, Stone Temple Pilots with Chester Bennington, Slash and Miles Kennedy, and the Conspirators. Out of all those bands, I really wanted to see Halestorm. That was going to be my first time. Love Bites was my favorite song. So when we get in, they are playing Love Bites solo, and I'm like, damn, just missed it. But nonetheless, still a great show. We showed up, we linked up with Zach for a little bit, got to talk to him, but he's mainly hanging out with his girlfriend. In the hindsight, considering that they're actually engaged, realistically, since this is a Monday, they should be married tomorrow. Let's check. May 11th? Yep, they should be married tomorrow. It's actually their anniversary tomorrow. Got another concert video about that later. A little Metallica in Philadelphia, but we're at the WMMRBQ 2015. So, me and Greg show up. We watch these bands. We actually went into the pit pretty early after we talked to Zach. We went back down into the pit. We saw Halestorm out in the crowd with them, and Halestorm played Love Bites, Freak Like Me. It's not you, it's me. Amen was 4, which is a great song. Can I get an amen? 5 was Scream. 6, I Am the Fire. 7, I Like It Heavy. There's the drum solo at 8. Sick Individual 9. Mayhem at 10. I Get Off at 11. Apocalyptic 12. And I Miss the Misery was number 13. We ended up getting to see Seether, another big band growing up. 2008 to 2016. They were still pretty hot. They still had that fire. They played Gasoline, Rise Above This, maybe? I don't know. I can't even read my own spelling. Fine Again. Broken was 4. If you ever heard the version with the lady from Evanescence, Amy, and that dude singing it, just beautiful, beautiful song, especially when you're hurt or in your feelings. Number 5 was Words as Weapons. 6 was Country Song. 7 was Fake It. That was a big one growing up around that time. Middle school, high school, just listening to the radio, doing homework. And then Remedy was 8. Everybody loves that one. Hold on, what's this one? Oh, so online, fun fact, it tells us that there were different songs in a different order, like Gasoline, Fine Again, 3 was Broken, 4 was Rise Above This, 5 Same Damn Life, 6 Nobody Praying for Me, 7 Words as Weapons, 8 Country Song, 9 Fake It, 10 Remedy. Now, the set I read first was probably one I took a picture of and then wrote it down, and then later online I looked it up. I did that a lot. So, we're waiting. Then comes out Breaking Benjamin. If you've never heard the cover they did of Tool's Prison Sex, the acoustic version, very good music. Sounds a little off saying prison sex, but you get the point. I'm advertising the sound of music, not the acts of what's happening. But considering that the only person from that band was the original lead singer, it was still a pretty good concert. They played So Cold, Unknown Soldier, Blow Me Away, Failure, Breach, the Star Wars theme, the Imperial March with Little Teen Spirit and Pateur's Walk, and then they played Polyamorous, I Will Not Bow, Until the End, and then intro, I don't know. But the last song was Diary of Jane. Like I said, can't even read my own handwriting. I must have been super tired writing this. I remember one guy in the crowd saying he was waiting like maybe 8, 10 years to see that band play. Like he was a Marine, and he was just like, man, they were so big back in my day, and I've been waiting so long to see them. So I'm like, yeah, that's pretty cool. Now, what ended up happening, there's this thing about the MMRBQ. It always rains. Well, it rained then. Super crazy rainstorm. Thunder, lightning. Zach and his friends with his girl are out in the crowd. They're out in not the nosebleeds. There's a lawn. It's an amphitheater. So me and Greg, we're down in the pit, up close and personal, really close to the stage. Zach's out in the rain getting sloshed and wet and just covered in rain. It was so bad that they delayed the show. I think it delayed for like an hour, 45 minutes. And at the end of it, Zach and his girlfriend were just like, screw this, we're leaving. And they all left. And we felt really bad. But, me and Greg, we stuck it out, luckily, because we were inside. God's plan. Thank you, Lord. So we stuck it out. And we ended up meeting this really, really cool guy named Brian. So, Brian's talking shit. And, he's like, I didn't pay all this money to get down here and just wait. I was like, how much you pay? Oh, he's like, oh, nothing. I snuck in. Just the old school, bigger set fellow. Looks like he's been drinking beer all day. Probably was drinking beer all day. Just really obnoxious, just giving security and people shit. And when, the jocks came out and say, hey, I'm sorry, there's a rain delay, get inside. He was like, bullshit, you just don't want to play. He was just really heckling them. So him and Greg, who I'm chilling with, they start talking. He's like, so how you guys get down here? He's like, oh, yeah, man. This is Greg talking. Yeah, man, my buddy got his tickets into the pit. Well, isn't that nice? I just walked in. You just walk in, and you act like you're supposed to be there. They won't say shit to you. They also probably wouldn't say shit because he was a big dude. It looked like he could pick me up and throw me. So I was like, okay. So he's like, so what do you guys do? And then Greg's like, oh, he plays guitar, man. He actually plays really good. You do? What do you play? He plays Slayer. Shut up, Greg. He's like, yeah, you can play Rain and Blood. That all of a sudden, big man got real serious with me. He looked at me, and he goes, listen, if you love it, you keep doing it, man. Listen to me. You could do it. Don't give up on your dreams. Play that guitar with all you can. I quit. I got married. Don't do that. Love it. That quote stuck with me. I still have it now in my room. I wrote it down. Oh, the bloody light. You can't see it. But anyway, on this piece of paper that's white, I'm not crazy. There's actually writing from when Brian said that. Never give up. Don't give up on your dreams. I did. I got married. I would not. I don't think that's a bad life, Brian. I think getting married and having kids, giving up a life of rock stars, I'd do that. So, real encouraging words to hear. The cool thing that happened was Chester Bennington joined STP at the time, Stone Temple Pilots. I wasn't a big fan of Stone Temple Pilots. I didn't know at the time I knew as many of their songs as they actually had on the radio. So, they come out. Really hard to hear Chester. There was a sound issue. I don't know what it was, but you could see the magic Chester had, and he was really letting loose. He was a big STP fan, and he wasn't performing like as if he was with Linkin Park. It was a totally different, moving around, very, Bruce Dickinson, movement of the hands and movement. It was really, really cool to see them play, and the DeLeo brothers are just really cool dudes. I remember one fan was like, yeah, fuck Scott Wild, go DeLeo brothers. And he just was like, the guitarist was like, oh, thank you, we appreciate it. And they seemed like nice dudes, man. STP was definitely on the money that night. And I do remember while I was in the crowd, there was a lady shorter than me. I'm a short dude. I'm 5'5". But this lady had to be 4'9", 5'1", and she is struggling with her boyfriend's right behind her, but she's struggling to see. So I was like, I saw her. I was like, Mina, come up front. She was like, I was like, yeah, go ahead. So she went up front. I'm right at the barricade. I backed up a bit. That's not my girl. But she was starting to dance a little bit. Starting to grind on me a little bit. I was like, I'm okay. I was just trying to let you see, that's all, I'm good, ma. Again, Christian thinking. I don't know if I do the same now. I'm probably still a little bitch about that. I'd probably be like, nah. Morals. Anyway. So, we're all enjoying the show. They're playing songs. Let's go to it. They played Vaseline, Wicked Garden, Sex Type Thing, Pruno? I don't know. Cracker Man. Big Band Baby, Out of My Time, Big Empty, Plush was 9, Interstate Love Song 10, Down, Tripping on a Hole, I want to say 13 is a Piece of Pie, and then 14 Dead and Bloated. So I'm pretty sure during Big Empty or maybe Plush, I might be wrong. I don't know the songs by heart, but I do know them if I hear them. So Chester Bennington actually came down into the crowd, and he was doing fives, he was doing holds, and that lady, she ended up getting a hug from him, just like a long, long hug, like thank you, like real freaking out stuff. And then he came up to me, I gave him a pretty good dap, just like, hey man, thank you, covered hand, thank you sir, because Linkin Park, again, words can't express how big they were too for my generation growing up. And if anybody ever saw the Transformers movies, there you have it. So Breaking the Habit happens to be my favorite song by Linkin Park. And then Bleed It Out. Bleed It Out was a big cross-country song for me. So, I got to shake hands with Chester Bennington. He went back up. They finished the show. And now it's time for Slash, the legend himself. This guy is one of those guitarists that he might play sloppy, but damn it, is he skillful. This bastard can play. And I was like, you know what? I need to take back a lot of shit I've said about Slash. Slash was on his money, and I always loved Miles Kennedy, even with Alter Bridge. If you guys ever watch wrestling, Edge's theme song, that's Alter Bridge. And the Conspirators were good, but Slash is one of those guys, he captivates you. He's like Tony Iommi. You're just in awe of his playing style and the fluidity and the ease of which he does it. So let's go to see what songs were played. Now, for me, Slash came out with World on Fire, and that's what they were touring. And to this day, still one of my favorite songs. Anastasia's a great song. The stuff he did with Velvet Revolver and GNR. But if we're talking strictly Slash, World on Fire is my jam. I was introduced to it by a Mr. What is his name? It's Mike something. Mike, I'm sorry. He's a Marine. He was an MP. Mike something. I don't know. The bastard lived in my room for like a year while my roommate Cameron was in other land. But anyway, he's the one that introduced me to World on Fire. Mike, I will get you in another video. I promise. I will remember what the hell your last name is. I can see your face, you bastard. We used to wrestle all the time. But anyway, he introduced me to it, and I just loved it. So the songs they came out with Slash, even though they had to cut the set short, still pretty epic. You're Alive was number 1. Night Train 2. Back from Cali 3. You Could Be Mine was 4. That's a good GNR song. 5. Bent to Fly. 6. World on Fire. Oh, it was Mike Montgomery. I wrote it down. Mike Montgomery, you bastard. I remember. You cheating son of a bitch every time we wrestled. Mike Montgomery introduced me to that song. And there's a part in that song is like, I'm so fucking bored. So Trip the Wire. And, oh man, all those memories. As soon as I remembered his name. So the lyrics says, it's like, I'm so fucking bored, Trip the Wire. You may never be good again. With me being a cross-country guy, I was like, you will never be good again. I always change the lyric. Listen to the song. I'm so fucking bored, so trip the wire. You will never be this good again. Yeah. Oh, damn. All right, Mike. Damn, I'm happy I wrote your name down. That was actually 6. Anastasia 7. Sweet Child of Mine 8. Slither was 9, and then Paradise City 10. I wasn't too upset I didn't get to see Welcome to the Jungle, but this one thing I do remember, Slash threw a pick near my area. I almost had it, but, and this is not an excuse, I almost had it, but me and a couple other guys, there was 2 other guys, so me, 2 other guys, we went for it, and they instantaneously dropped, like, went for it, they hit each other, and then they started fighting over the pick. Like, it hit the ground, and all of a sudden, they just started scrambling, punching, fighting, just like, and I'm sitting here like, yo, he's only human, bro. It's not that deep. So I stopped fighting over the pick, and they just went at it, and I'm not saying they were throwing hard fists, but they were like, move out the way, like, doing all kinds of contortions and wrestling moves, and then this one guy, he finally got the pick, and he got up, and I'll never forget the excitement and the emotion he had. He had the pick, and he was like, yes! Yes, I got it. I got it. I did it. I did it. I got the pick. Ah! I was like, damn, bro, you okay? Want to talk, man? We can talk. I'll be here for you. I mean, I ain't gonna help you, but I'll listen to you. So that's one of those things I never forgot. What else is in this? It's a pick. Oh yeah, it's a pick. Never get that desperate to get one for yours. Yes, he is only human. So I remember that vividly. That was a really good show. It cut short a little bit to the rain, but it wasn't. It wasn't like it totally ruined it. It was some really good time. It was really great stories. And ladies, that was concert number 11, the 2015 MMRBQ. Let's see when that took place one more time. Because I don't think I've been telling you guys when these have been taking place. Not that you care. Well, you know, it'd be nice for future reference. May 16th, 2015. It's actually May now, May 11th. So, 2020. Whole 5 years ago. So, guys, that was concert number 11. Next up, we're going to go to another rap concert. One of my favorite rappers. I say that all the time, but one that I really, really can say was a huge influence on me just enjoying the art of rap. Other than Eminem, other than Ludacris, we'll have DMX. Stay tuned, and as always, God bless, stay safe, and thanks for watching.